I'm an aircraft maintenance by profession.
Whoa, that's neat.
I think I like forex more because of the authenticity. That's the vibe that I'm getting from this community.
Hi guys, I am Tori with The Funded Trader, and I have Mark here for our interview. Mark, I'm going to let you already had it started before I hit record, so I'll let you go ahead and continue. So just kind of give everybody an idea of what your name is, where you're from, what do you do? I'll let you take the floor.
Hi, Tori. So my name is Mark Mangulabnan. So I'm 26-year-old, and prior to trading, I used to be a country head of a forex brokerage here in the Philippines. So I shifted from being a forex broker to a full-time trader now.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm from Manila, Philippines, and my educational background is I'm an aircraft maintenance by profession.
Whoa, that's neat.
Yeah, so it's a very far profession from trading.
Very.
So the original plan was to be a pilot, but then I stumbled into trading. So here I am trading right now.
Okay.
So that's like my quick background.
I see. Now, I do got to ask, when did you get started trading? How long ago was that? Was that around the same time you got into the pilot school?
Yeah, I think during my second year in my college. So I started 2015. So it's like my 7th year. Yeah, I'm already 7. Oh my God, I'm already
incredible.
7 years.
Oh yeah, same here. I think I've been doing this for about 7 years too now. It's crazy.
Right. So prior to trading, I used to raise capital for businesses. So I used to pitch to a lot of investors on why they should invest to this business, and make some, equities or profits from the interest, And then I got burned out. One day I just researched how I can generate monthly cash flow just from my phone or laptop. Then I stumbled upon trading. So which immediately, appealed to me because it gives you the freedom and control of your own time. But the only challenge back then was, unlike today, where you can just research on literally any topics online, you just have to search it on YouTube or something and you can have the answers. Mm-hmm. So before, it doesn't have that, the information is not that quite rich, so I have to, research on my own. I don't even know how to start. So what I did, I ended up applying to a forex brokerage firm, to learn more about trading.
Okay.
And then I ended up, I was expecting to learn more about trading since, I'm going to work on a forex brokerage, but I ended up in sales.
Oh my God. Go figure.
Yeah. So from there, I worked my way up. And 2-3 years later, I ended up being a country manager of a forex brokerage here. So I think that's one of my edge and advantage because majority of starting traders, they start out just researching it, the typical journey. But I was able to see behind the scenes.
Okay, that's different. That's very different.
Yeah, what's really happening, and then the tools of the brokerage. It's very sophisticated. I get to see a lot of traders. I get to see one country. I can see the whole trading, the trading positions of everyone. So it really literally gives me a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I also get to see the patterns of profitable traders and those that isn't really making it. So that's like one of the advantage and edge that I was able to get from being a forex broker.
That's insane. I would say usually people just go off like statistics or like only 2% of traders actually make it, but you get to actually see the real statistics or the real patterns behind it. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, actually, like they're over, let's say 30, 40K clients. The really profitable ones are, you can count them with fingers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
So it was really like a challenge for me.
But it'd be a little discouraging. It seems like it would be, you're like, oh, dang it. Out of all these people.
Actually, it has the opposite effect. Like, I'm very competitive. Like,
heck yes. All right, there you go.
I'm gonna make it in this business. Like, I'm not gonna be part of the statistics. So that's the effect that it had on me. But one of the patterns that I see, the profitable traders that I've seen are mostly women.
Really? No way.
Yeah, women, not men. So which is very, it's interesting on my end because women, you guys are more conservative, so you tend to take care of your accounts more. Unlike men, we have big egos, like who has the highest profit, who has the highest return for the month. So I think it really boils down to that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about survival. It's all about taking care of your accounts, all about protecting your account, and that's women are really good at doing that. So that's the pattern that I saw.
Good to know. All right, that makes me so much more happy.
Yeah.
All right, neat. Okay, cool. Now, since you had that background, so now I'm like, the lingo, were you doing like your own strategy research while watching all the background stuff happen? Or how did you get into like the strategy side of it?
Well, I'm quite a nerd when it comes to strategies. Like I've developed a lot of strategies, like so many strategies, and then I try to develop these strategies with these informations that I have when I was a broker. And part of the strategy is also just fading trades from, like, let's say there's a lot of retail trades, retail exposures that's trading Euro USD. Let's say everyone's like long in it, and most of the time it would go short. So all of those information is really helping out if you have those information. So it really happens. And then one of the things that I saw is that whenever you see your typical chart pattern, the more obvious it is, the more likely it's not gonna work out. So I tend to fade those patterns as well. So I wait for a specific pattern to fail.
Okay.
Ride it. So let's say we have a bearish flag, right? So bearish flag. So you think it's gonna go down, but of course it's not a perfect world. Sometimes it doesn't happen right away, or it isn't a clean chart, a clean break. So whenever that chart pattern fails, or when I see that because everyone usually has the same stop loss placement, right?
Okay.
So whenever I see stops are getting hit, or a specific area that the stops are getting hit, that's the time that I also get in. I fade it together with what kind of factors or forces that's moving the markets that way.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. So that's how it is.
Okay. Now I would say the next question is, have you done, so you got right into a forex broker, you said. Have you tried like stocks or futures? Have you tried anything other than forex before?
Yeah, I tried, but the other charts isn't neat and clean as a forex chart. I stick with forex instead.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think I like forex more because of the charts. It's much cleaner than other charts, because other charts like a lot of gaps in it, and there are different lots of factors and fundamentals at play with other markets.
Yeah, absolutely. Gaps are ridiculously hard to work around. Yeah, and it's not as aesthetically, depending on the type of strategy you use for your chart, it just aesthetically doesn't even look clean. So yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying.
Right.
Now, what kind of a strict trader would you say that you are? Are you like a scalper? Are you in and out within the day? Do you have long-term stuff as well?
Okay, good question. I actually employ different kinds of strategies, but for me, I call myself more of a day trader.
Okay.
Or sometimes in between of swing and day trading. Scalping, not that much, because the costs with high position sizes is too much.
Yeah.
So I don't like scalping too much. So day trading and swing is the type of trader that I am.
Okay, very cool. Now, the next question is the prop firm. So how did you, I know you said where you're at in the Philippines, it's not very popular. Prop firms, people are kind of skeptical. How'd you end up finding TFT? And then what is your advice to people around you that's kind of skeptical about prop firms?
Okay. Actually, I was supposed to buy a 200K challenge with FTMO.
Oh, okay.
That was the original plan. But then, of course, us as consumers, as buyers, we tend to look for, other brands that, offers more. Mm-hmm. So I ended up, I stumbled to the funded trader, and upon closer inspection, the funded trader has the best offer right now in the market, especially with the drawdown limits. and the maximum loss, which is very competitive, unlike FTMO and other prop firms out there. And it also has a different feel in it. Like I get this sort of feel like it's also run by traders as well. And upon researching it about more, I've seen Angelo and the guys. They're also traders as well. So that's it gives me that sense of warmth feeling, like
like community,
guys,
like you're around the same kind of people.
Yeah, not like because with other prop firms, it's like I'm surrounded with sharks. These guys are just investors out just to make some money, something like that.
Yeah.
But with TFT, they understand how it is to be a trader because they're also a trader themselves,
Exactly.
So they understand us more, and if you understand something more, then you can offer game changing opportunities and opportunities, other things that you can innovate on that particular topic. So that's the kind of feel that I got from TFT.
Absolutely.
So that's why I ended up with TFT.
Nice. Okay. Well, I got to ask on that same topic. Are you involved in like the community of TFT at all? Do you use any of the like Discords that we do? Do you watch any of the like videos where Angelo or Nick will hop on and just kind of go over strategy? Do you kind of communicate with any of the other guys?
Yeah, absolutely. The TFT community is great. Like everyone is very active in terms of funded account related questions. Mm-hmm. What I really like about this community is I used to join a lot of communities, and problems with these communities is everyone is just showing off their profits, their strategies and all. Right. But with TFT, it's more like we're not really discussing strategies and all. We're not really going through charts that much, but it's mostly talking about just principles, principles of sound trading, which is more applicable to everyone. Absolutely. Because you can really feel that everyone has their own strategy, and we're not really interested in knowing other strategies. And because everyone is focused on just trying to improve their own trading strategies and all. So principles and the universal truths of trading, that's more applicable. So that's what I like about TFT. I think it all boils down to authenticity.
Absolutely.
So that's the vibe that I'm getting from this community.
Yay, I'm so glad to hear that. It's the same here. When I first got into TFT, I was like, first of all, I was extremely intimidated because like I have a very simple strategy, and it almost, compared to others, it seems like so elementary. So I was nervous that like people would think that my strategy is like too simple. But when I got into the community, everyone was like, first of all, don't even care about the strategy. You do your thing, but like, we're all a community here. Like, this is awesome. Like the philosophy behind it, the headspace. Oh my God, it was incredible. That was one of the nicest things to know, that people aren't like drilling for strategies or trying to get you to trade their strategy. It's very like stay in your lane, but like we're all traders here. Very
right. Exactly.
I love that. Yeah.
I used to feel that way because, as I've told you, I have lots of strategies that I've developed, and I started off, developing complicated strategies. And the longer that I am into trading, the more simpler it gets. The more simple the system it gets. So it's actually funny, because you think that there is some sort of secret, like you got to study a lot, and then you need some kinds of a lot of indicators, some kind of secret sauce that you need in your trading. But as time passes by, as you gain experience with trading, you just figured out that it's not about having lots of information, but rather it's all about just filtering those information, those information that really matters. Not all of those information. So just like you, my system is also simple. Later on, if I show you one of my favorite setup, I think some other people, they laugh, like they think when I show them my strategy, they think that they're expecting like a magic strategy, something like that. But when I really just show them the stuff, they're like, oh, that's it? Is there anything to it?
Nice. Okay, good. I'm excited. Cool. All right. Well, before we do get to that, which is going to be like I would say the pinnacle of our interview, because everyone, YouTube we'll even have people that will just like zoom through the YouTube just to get to the strategy part.
Yeah.
That's like the meat of the interview. Everybody loves that. And I'm super excited I get to see like so many different strategies and so many different like mindsets. So I'm super excited to hear about yours. But before we get to that, So I did hear that you had and correct me if I'm wrong, was it a 200K account and a 400K account and you just got them merged?
Yeah, I bought a 400K first, and then after a month, I bought another 200K.
Okay.
And then I'm trading the same system, the same strategy. And then after a month, that's the only time I got it merged. So right now I'm trading a 600K account. But fortunately, though, I was able to made some withdrawals first on my 400K account.
Okay.
And got it merged. So
Nice.
because it saves me the hassle. Because aside from TFT, I'm also managing client investor accounts as well.
Gotcha.
So it
Okay.
it really saves my time, from
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Well, I would say we can go right into the strategy part now. If you'd like to share your screen and want to show everybody like your setup and kind of an example trade, or the floor is yours,
Sure.
whatever you like.
Okay, so I don't really use TradingView that much. So I'm a hardcore MT4 guy.
Okay.
So this is my live account with one of my brokers. Okay, so I just trade Euro USD and GJ and nothing else.
Okay. Simple, easy. I like it.
Mostly Euro USD and GJ only. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they trade a lot of pairs, and most of these pairs are correlated. So you're not really getting more opportunity. You're just increasing your exposure, your risk. So let's say you risk 1% with this pair, but you trade like 4 pairs that is highly correlated. It's like risking 4%.
I see. That makes sense. Absolutely.
So one of my favorite setup is with GJ. It's a setup that takes 3 days to form.
Okay.
So that's why I don't really, I have the time, a lot of time on my plate. Like I don't have to check out the charts every now and then. Like in the morning, I know if I have a trade or not. And if I have a trade, I'll just, set alerts.
Yeah.
So anyway, my trade is, my setup is I try to look for range that are narrowing.
Okay.
Like let's say this is the 29th of March. I'm in the M15 chart. So if I measure this is 248 pip range, okay, and then the second day it is 232 pip, okay. So what I want to see is a range that's decreasing.
I see.
Okay, and then on the third day, if it continues decreasing like this one, it gets from the first day it is 240 pip, and then 230 pip, and then we have like 140 pip. So the logic of this system is that market is going from high volatility to low volatility to high volatility to low volatility. So what I do was whenever where the range is getting smaller like this one, I just measure the highs and lows and just wait for a breakout. That's it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, because a lot of traders, they're always focusing on the magic entry. They would like to see the best position, the best entry. So when you develop a system and you try to give that up, like you don't have to look for the best entries, because it's always about having the best exits rather than the entry, because the money is made in the exit, right?
Yeah. Right.
So after marking the highs and lows, I'm gonna measure this. So it's 140 pip. So I'm gonna multiply that to 2. So which is 280 pip, something like that.
Okay.
And then the 280 pip, I'm gonna divide it by 5, and that would be my stop loss. So let's say 140 pip times 2 divided by 5. So I have like 56 pip stop loss here.
All right. Okay, I see.
So it's very simple. A lot of guesswork, a lot of a lot of focusing is a lot of those things, a lot of subjective things are already taken off with this setup. It's very objective. So at this moment here, I'm gonna take a buy here. I'm gonna put a buy stop here, and then just 56 pips below is my stop loss. So around here is my stop loss.
I see. Okay.
So let me mark that. Yeah, so around here is my stop loss.
Okay.
So here you can see here that I got stopped out here, this part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it happens. So if I get stopped out, it's fine. I'm just gonna re-enter back here.
Okay.
When it gets back up again, I'm gonna re-enter back here around this area. So at this point, I'm in the market again. And then as you can see, the range kept on decreasing. Like from this one is 140 pip.
Yeah.
And then 140 pip as well.
Okay.
And then on this part, it became like 100 pip only.
Yeah.
So I have a buy here right now, and then I'm gonna mark this again, and then I'm gonna add more positions here. So I'm gonna buy here again in this area.
Okay.
So same logic. I'm gonna get the range, multiply it by 2, and then divide it by 5.
Okay, I see.
Okay. So as for the exit, all right. So this is the exciting part. So exit, I don't exit with a break even. I always try to to hit 1 to 5 risk reward
Okay.
as minimum, and then I always try to try my best not to take profits. So meaning, let's say this range here is 100 pip. So it needs to have like 200 pip move first. So around here, around this area, 200 pip.
Okay.
Once price reaches this, I'm gonna start trailing it.
Okay.
So I don't have any preset take profit levels. I just follow the market. I just trail it. So I trail it using this yellow line, which is my moving average, which is 250 simple moving average.
Okay.
So I just keep on trailing that until it closes up below it. So once it closes below, which is here, that's the time I'm gonna close.
I see. Okay. Okay. It's starting to click.
Yeah. So the good thing about this strategy is like it doesn't take more than 30 minutes because I just woke up during market open, and then right from the get-go I'm just gonna measure the range, and from the morning I know if I'm gonna have a potential trade later on or not. So it gives me a lot of free time, and it's very easy to get some data and easy to back test this. Like the problem with developing strategies is that you get to complicate it. Once it is complicated, it's also easy to curve fit. Like curve fitting. Like your strategy looks good on paper, on theory, but actually forward testing it, where the money is actually coming from. Will have like different results. So I try my best when I develop a system that it takes a lot of the subjective part and a lot of guesswork out of the strategy, so that I know that the data that I'll have will have a very accurate and a precise result.
Okay.
And the forward testing would be much doesn't have that kind of difference. So that's what I look for in a strategy. So it's very simple.
Yeah. No.
So,
yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, and then it's also it all boils down to knowing your numbers. Like what's the highest drawdown for this system? Like I truly believe that almost a majority of the strategies does make money. I mean, it really makes money, but the problem is the position sizing, because a lot of guys they'd like to earn more. They'd like to return higher, so they tend to risk more.
Mm-hmm.
But there are systems that I've seen system that it has a high drawdown, but if you take care of your position sizing and and survive through the drawdown, you're gonna make money. So it all boils down to that part.
Okay.
So that's how simple my system is. So I just
I'm into it.
For other setup. The only time I don't take the setup is when I see that the market is on a range bound, like right now, what's happening right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't take it. So, and before I forget, this red line here, this is 960 moving average. This is actually a 10-day EMA.
Okay.
So I just put 960, so I don't have to going back and forth with a daily chart.
Okay.
So this acts like my trend filter. So if the candlestick is above it, I'm just looking out for a breakout on the upside.
Okay, I see.
And if it's below, I'm just gonna take shorts. So again, it takes a lot of guesswork, a lot of subjective things from determining or defining your trend.
Yeah. I'd say what seems cool about your strategy is it's almost like a template that you can just put right on the screen. I'd say the entries seem, now this is just kind of what I'm gathering so far. The entries seem more of like it's according to the strategy, but the exit is you kind of go with the flow with the exits. The exits aren't as precise. It's not as, is that right?
Yeah, because what I learned in trading is the more you trade, the more prone you are to getting more chances of losing. Right? It's more of a less is more. That is like my mantra. So what I do is if the market is range bound for the month, I know that my system will underperform. But if I catch like a few trends in a year, that would really give out like majority of my profits. So I'm just trying to catch some some trends, and the only way for me to find out if there's an incoming trend is if there's like a narrowing of range. Like it's like some sort of spring. The spring.
Tell me about the spring.
Okay. So it's like, when you contract the spring, and then let go of it, it's gonna.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Right. So that's
in
kind
one
of
direction
the
if you-
logic. Yeah. So that's like kind of the logic in it.
Yeah.
And I sacrifice, a better entry. I sacrifice that because sometimes looking for the best entries, you tend to, miss out on a big trend because you're always looking for the perfect entry.
I see.
So I just gave that up and just keep on, my mindset is if there's a trend, I'm making sure that I'm going to participate in it, regardless of the entries. Because, getting stopped out, it's fine. I mean, it's part of the business. Like
Absolutely.
losing, it's part of the business. That is why I try my best not to also take profit early because, I need to be able to cover my losses as well and end up with,
Right.
with a profit too. So it's also like a business as well. So yeah, that's my strategy.
All right, I'm into it. I like this. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back, take a lot of notes. Okay, so before we hop off, I do want to ask a few more questions. So you said that you're in the Philippines right now, and Philippines is like getting more popular for trading. Is that what you mentioned before we got on the interview?
Yeah. Like trading here is getting popular. Like also because of the pandemic, a lot of people got, the economy took a hit. A lot of people, a lot of businesses closed. A lot of people lost their jobs, and they're trying a lot of alternative ways to make money online. And a lot of people are discovering forex trading right now. So it's getting popular here in the Philippines.
Okay, that's extremely exciting. And I'd say before we hop off to this is like the very last question, and it's so important for people that are just getting into trading, or even the ones that have like been in for 1 or 2 years and they're just like, why isn't it happening? What am I doing wrong? Like, what is your advice for one, for the newbies that aren't in trading yet, and then two, or for the ones that have like been at it for a year, for 2 years, maybe even 3, and they're just not seeing the results that they thought they were going to get yet?
Okay, I think it all boils down on your point of view in trading, because a lot of people starts with trading thinking like treating it like a lottery type of opportunity, like they're gonna be a millionaire, or they're gonna make it big in just a matter of few months.
Right.
And I don't blame them because especially these days in the social media where everyone is a very good trader, everyone just posting their profits, just flexing. So in those kinds of, they're exposed to that kinds of content, which gives them unrealistic expectations. What I can give them advice to is, just look up to the real OGs of the industry, like Jim Simmons, Warren Buffett. Just check out their trading results, their monthly performance, their yearly performance. These guys, they are the legends. These legends, when they suffer a drawdown, it's measured in years, like 2 years in drawdown, 1 year in drawdown, and then you're here, suffering a 1 week drawdown, and you think it's the end of the world.
Right.
So it kind of puts you into perspective. Like if you think it in long term, I think that's the best advice that I can give, because a lot of people, when they start off trading, they think it's gonna be easy. A lot of them, underestimate and overestimate themselves in terms of trading. So I always tell people that it's just like any other profession. Like you don't get to be a doctor in 1 to 2 months, right? No. And I mean, do you want a surgeon to operate on you with only 1 to 2 months of experience?
Absolutely.
Of course not. Of course not. So treat it that way with trading as well. So that's what I try to always tell them, that just take, it's a long-term game.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So don't take it. I mean, if you're gonna trade and expecting to make money in the short term, you will be very disappointed. And also a lot of profit and loss are random in nature. I mean, in the short term. So I also tell those guys that that's already trading more than 3 to 5 years, but still struggling. I just tell them that don't judge yourself with few trades. judge a system or judge yourself after taking 50 to 100 trades of that system. That's the only time you can measure. Because if you're going to measure your result after taking 2 to 3 trades, that's very, it's random in nature. Like short term, it's very random. Like there's not enough data for you to judge yourself or the system.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell them. So it also like has a shift in perspective. Like the goal is from making money every trade. The goal is like, I'm gonna trade this system. I'm gonna take 50 to 100 trades before I can find out if this system works or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have other guys with me that updating me. Hey Mark, I'm on my 39th trade or 40th trade. I'm approaching my 50th trade. So it really it takes care of the emotional side, the mental side of trading. So you just focus on following the system and make sure that everything is you followed your setup, every rule, every strategy. I mean the strategy, what kind of setup that you're trading. Make sure you're following it, and then after some time, after taking 50 to 100 trades, it's a good start for anyone who's trying to trade the strategy.
Yeah. Give it its due diligence, its due time before you even make any kind of judgment. Absolutely. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, in any business, like it's going to take you 5 years before, you can say that it's working. So what's 50 to 100 trades with 5 years? I mean, it's not going to take 5 years to get 50 to 100 trades, right? I mean, depending on your time frame and system, right? So that's my advice for, I think, not just for not for the experienced one, but also the beginning, the starting ones. Because a lot of people, they after taking some trades, making some money off one system, and then it experienced a drawdown, they're gonna switch to a different system. So a lot of people is trapped in that kind of cycle.
Yeah,
it's a vicious cycle. Like you're gonna trade this strategy, and of course, there's no perfect strategy. Every strategy has drawdown periods. Every strategy has a period of underperformance. Mm-hmm. And it's those times that a lot of people, they switch to a different strategy. They think that this strategy doesn't work anymore, and I'm gonna look for a different strategy. So it's like an endless loop. It's a never-ending loop. So you just have to stick to one strategy through thick and thin.
Yep.
And the only way for you to stick in that strategy is just knowing your numbers. Stress testing your system, getting a lot of data, so that it gives you the confidence and peace of mind to just keep on trading it. Because eventually, if you stick to one strategy, the market would eventually reward you for being loyal to that strategy.
Exactly. Yes. Oh my God, I could not have said that better. This is why I love doing this part of the job. It is so cool because I get like a different insight and a different perspective like every single time. And this was like incredible insight. This was like some good stuff. This is juicy interview right here. I feel like this needs to have a part 2 to it eventually.
Yeah, okay, you can do that.
This was awesome, Mark. Thank you so much for doing the interview with me today.
Yeah, thank you, Tori. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, see you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.